Hello, I'm Skyrion, and in this video I want to lay down the foundations for combat and movement techniques used in Twilight Princess speedrunning. So, without further ado, let's begin. When it comes to damage, there's a lot to cover, so I'm going to keep it simple. This video isn't meant to be a documentation of all damage values or combat scenarios, but more of an introduction on some useful tech. For instance, it's important to know the difference between small and big damage, as it's often mentioned in tutorials. Big damage refers to any of the following attacks: spin attack, jump attack, jump slash, roll stab. Small damage refers to any of the following attacks: slash, stab. It's important to note that the running slash deals very little damage. A common misconception is that the running slash deals the same amount of damage as a slash. Let's look at how many non-combo slashes it takes to defeat this bokoblin. Now let's compare it to running slashes. As you just saw, it took almost twice as many hits when using running slashes, so keep this in mind when you're running up to slash an enemy. Try to stop Link before slashing. There are multiple fights in the game where performing a full combo advances the fight in one way or another. Most commonly, the enemy will become invincible, such as Deku rising from a stunned position, or a bokoblin getting knocked to the ground. We want to avoid enemy invincibility as much as possible, as that will prolong the fight. One notable exception to this is the fight against Zant. The end hit of a combo attack is substantially more beneficial than non-combo slashes, so we actually do want to use full combo slashes against him. The spin attack can be executed in 4 ways. You can hold B to charge and release. You can spin the control stick and press B to instantly spin. You can do what's called a quickly charged spin attack, which involves holding B while running, stopping, and then releasing B. Finally, you can spin the control stick after a jump attack, backflip, or jump slash. This is called the auto spin. Interestingly, this does not require a B press. The direction Link slashes depends on which control stick direction you're holding. Without going into too much detail, I want to talk about 2 combos and their usefulness. First up, the full stab combo. This is slow, but as you'd expect, this has the longest range. If the enemy you're fighting is far in front of you, this is probably the way to do the combo. The fastest combo is done by slashing left, right, up, then down. Some people like to start from the right, and that's fine. The important part is that up and down are the last 2 inputs. I'll place 2 videos side by side so you can see the speed difference. It might not seem like much, but when you're fighting underwater without Zora armor, it is noticeable. Let's wrap up the combat section by mentioning sword cancelling. If you press B whilst operating some items, Link will exit first person view and slash his sword. Either that or nothing will happen, like when using the fishing rod. But there's one item that works a bit differently, and that's the ball and chain. If you're swinging the ball and chain above your head and then press B, Link will instantly cancel the motion and unsheath his sword. A common mistake is to let go of the button for ball and chain. It's important that you keep that button held while pressing B, otherwise Link will toss it in front of him. He won't slash, which is the beauty of it. He'll be ready to act with sword in hand. This tech is crucial for certain fights, like the high-end method of fighting Death Sword. Unless you skip him, of course. Sword cancelling can also be used to drop bombs efficiently. Let's not talk about the claw shot method, okay? Now let's talk about movement. I won't cover all there is, otherwise this video would be hours long. But let's discuss the most important things to know. Wolf Link can do what's called dash cancelling, which is used to maintain top speed through difficult terrain and obstacles. So, what is it? Well, it's pretty straightforward. You cancel a dash. A dash can be cancelled by pressing B, by jumping off of a platform, or interestingly enough, by climbing out of water, though this last part only applies to dashing in the water. You see this technique used in a lot of places in sewers in early game. Midna's Desperate Hour also has a lot of dash cancelling, especially in the last section. Let's move over to Human Link, and let's talk about the auto roll. The auto roll is a roll that's initiated from the air. If you hold down the A button after jumping off of a ledge, you will roll as soon as you land. The game does this for you if the ledge you're jumping off of is really high, but it's possible to get this roll from any ledge just by holding down A. You're also able to place most items in your hand while in the air. Despite being rarely useful, it's pretty fun to do, and this area in Lake Hylia is my favorite place to practice auto rolls and item pulling from the air. Try it out yourself.